The wind moves softly through the trees, but Claire cannot feel it. Her body is there, standing still, yet her mind is racing faster than ever before. She keeps staring at him, trying to understand what she is seeing, the face, the posture, even the way he looks around. It's all too familiar. This is not a dream. This is not a memory. This is real. And that is what makes it terrifying. For a second, Claire forgets where she is. The world around her fades into silence. All she can hear is her own heartbeat, loud and uneven. She takes a slow step forward, her eyes never leaving him. There is a strange fear inside her, but also something deeper, something emotional, because no matter how impossible this moment is, this is still her father. Her lips part slightly, as if she wants to say something, but no words come out. What could she even say? How do you speak to someone who is not supposed to be here? Someone who belongs to another time, another life? Her thoughts begin to collide. Questions start forming, one after another, but none of them have answers. He turns his head slightly, as if he senses her presence, and then their eyes meet. That single moment changes everything. There is no shock on his face, no confusion. He looks at her calmly, almost like he was expecting this. And that is what unsettles Claire the most, because if he is not surprised, then this was never an accident. Claire feels a chill run down her spine. Her mind instantly goes back to everything she knows about time travel, the stones, the rules, the danger. None of this makes sense. She has always believed that crossing time comes with limits, with risks. But this breaks all of it. She tries to control her breathing, but her chest feels tight. Every instinct in her tells her to be careful. This is not just an emotional reunion. There is something else here, something hidden beneath the surface. Memories begin to flood her mind. Her childhood, the stories, the moments she thought she understood. But now those memories feel different, like pieces of a puzzle she never fully saw before. What if there were things she missed? What if her father knew more than he ever told her? She studies his face again, looking for signs. Has he aged? Has time touched him the same way it touched her? But the answer only confuses her more. He looks almost the same, not older, not weaker, just unchanged, and that is impossible. Claire's hands slowly clench at her sides. She is trying to stay strong, trying to think clearly. But deep inside, she feels something breaking, because this is not just about time travel anymore. This is personal. This is her past stepping into her present, without warning, and the most dangerous part. A small voice inside her whispers a question she is not ready to face. What if this was meant to happen? Claire stands still, unable to move away from what she is seeing. The man in front of her remains calm, almost too calm, as if this meeting was never meant to surprise him. Around them, everything feels distant, like the world has pulled back just to leave them alone in this moment. Claire tries to read his expression again, searching for something: shock, relief, fear, but there is only quiet certainty in his eyes. She slowly takes another step closer. Her mind refuses to accept what her eyes are showing her, yet her heart reacts in a way she cannot control. This is her father, the same man she thought she lost long ago, the same man whose absence shaped her entire life. But how can he be here now? How can someone from her past stand so clearly in her present? Her thoughts begin to pull her backward in time. She remembers fragments of her childhood, small moments, unfinished conversations, and unanswered questions about him. At the time, she accepted the idea that he was gone. That was the truth she lived with. But now that truth feels unstable, like it was never complete. The man finally moves. A small shift in his posture, a slight turn of his body, as if he is trying to understand her better. He does not rush toward her. He does not call out her name. Instead, he watches her carefully, like someone who has waited a very long time for this exact moment. That calmness unsettles Claire even more. Behind her, the world of Outlander continues as if nothing unusual is happening. But for Claire, everything has changed. The ground beneath her understanding is no longer stable. Time, which once felt like a straight line, now feels broken, twisted into something she cannot predict. She remembers everything she has learned about the stones, about crossing between times. Every rule had limits. Every journey came with risk. But none of those explanations prepare her for this, because this is not just time travel. This is something deeper. Something that touches her identity itself. Her father finally speaks, but his voice is calm, almost gentle. Not loud, not emotional, just steady, as if he is carefully choosing each word. Claire hears him, but it takes her a moment to process. And his tone does not carry surprise or confusion. It carries recognition. As if he already knows who she has become. Claire feels her throat tighten. She wants to ask 100 questions at once, but none of them come out. Instead, silence fills the space between them. A silence heavy enough to feel like pressure in the air. She studies him again, trying to find anything that proves this is not real, a mistake, a trick, a dream. But every detail remains consistent. His eyes, his voice. Even the way he stands, it all belongs to the same man she remembers. And yet, something about him feels slightly different, like he has lived through things she cannot see. Her mind begins to break the moment into pieces. If he is truly here, then how did he arrive? And why now? Claire has traveled through time before, but she has always believed her past remained fixed, untouched, separate. But this moment suggests something else entirely. A quiet fear begins to grow inside her. Not fear of him, but fear of what his presence means. Because if her father can appear here, then the rules she trusted may not exist the way she thought they did. And if the rules are wrong, then everything she has built her life on could be wrong to. She looks at him again, searching for any sign of explanation, but he offers none. Instead, he simply waits, and that waiting feels heavier than any answer he could give. Claire realizes something slowly, something she does not want to accept. This is not just a reunion. This is a turning point, and whatever comes next will not let her go back to the way things were before. Claire is still trying to steady her breathing when something changes in the air again. It is not loud. It is not sudden. It is a slow shift, like reality itself is adjusting to something it was not ready for. Her father takes a small step forward, and for the first time, Claire notices something different in his movement. It is not hesitation. It is purpose. He is not lost here. He is not confused. He is arriving with intention. Claire's eyes follow him closely. Every instinct inside her is telling her to stay alert. But her emotions are pulling her in another direction. She wants answers, yet she is afraid of what those answers might destroy. The distance between them feels both small and endless at the same time. The environment around them remains quiet, but it no longer feels safe in its silence. Claire feels like she is standing at the edge of something large and unknown. Even the ground beneath her seems less real now, as if time itself has become unstable in this place. Her father finally stops a few steps away from her, close enough for her to see every detail of his face, but far enough that there is still a gap between their realities. He looks at her with an expression that is not emotional in the way she expected. There is no overwhelming joy, no shock, no tears. Instead, there is something deeper and more controlled. Like someone who has already lived through this moment many times in his mind, Claire's voice finally breaks the silence, but it is weak, uncertain. She tries to speak, but only part of her thought comes out. Her mind is overloaded, trying to connect decades of absence with this impossible presence in front of her. The words feel heavy before they even leave her mouth. Her father listens without interrupting. That silence from him feels intentional, like he is waiting for her to reach a point on her own, not rushing her, not guiding her too quickly. It almost feels like he has prepared for this conversation long before she even knew it would happen. And Claire studies him more closely now. The details she once accepted as familiar begin to feel strange in this context. His eyes carry knowledge that does not match the story she was told about him. His calmness is not ordinary calmness. It feels like someone who understands more than he should. A sudden thought hits her, sharp and uncomfortable. What if everything she believed about his disappearance was incomplete? What if the version of events she grew up with was never the full truth? The idea makes her stomach tighten. Because if that is true, then her entire past has a missing piece she never had the chance to question. Her father finally moves again. But this time it is slower, more careful. He looks at her as if trying to decide how much she is ready to hear. Claire notices it immediately. He is not just reacting to her presence. He is measuring her understanding. That realization makes her more uneasy than anything else so far done in the world of Outlander. Claire has faced impossible things before. Time travel, survival, loss, and choices that changed everything. But this situation feels different. This is not about surviving a new world. This is about questioning the one she came from. Her father finally speaks again, and his tone remains steady, controlled, almost careful. It is not the voice of someone explaining a surprise reunion.